not stop singing. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing till the world can hear the song, till the world can sing along. We will not stop marching. We will not stop marching. We will not stop marching till the world can hear the song, till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along.
We will not stop praying. We will not stop praying. We will not stop praying till we all can get along, till the world can sing our song. We will not stop shouting. We will not stop shouting. We will not stop shouting. Shouting right from wrong till the world can sing our song. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing till the world can hear our song, till the world can sing along.
Welcome, everyone. It is so good to be together in person and via the magic of technology. Today, with the roads as they are, we have about half of our congregation this morning with us on Zoom, which is great, right? And half of our congregation is here at the building on 10th Street. What a gift of these last years that we figured out how to do this, right? How to reach out, how to have the technology. Thank you, Dave Curl, to allow our people to participate fully when they don't want to brave the roads, when it is hard for them to leave their homes, when they are farther afield. What a gift. So come, let us gather in all of the ways that we gather. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning. I'm Gordon Bolar, a member of the People's Church Sunday Service Committee, and I'd like to welcome you this morning to People's Church, whether you're here in person or whether you're watching or participating, listening on Zoom. We're grateful for your presence and participation in either way. People's Church is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association. We're part of a long tradition of liberal religion. Liberalism has a faith that although the path of progress is uncertain, if we work together, we can shape church community along with other broader communities toward a better future. And personally, A few weeks ago, Reverend Rachel gave a sermon on religious liberalism. And if I can kind of paraphrase the words, I kind of carry these words with me now. Religious liberalism is a free search for truth using both our head and our heart. And in fact, this morning, there will come an occasion where we look at an article and we will have the opportunity to do just that. So, welcome to People's Church.
I have several announcements as we begin this morning. First, if you are in middle school or high school, I invite you to stay after the service to work with me to plan a Sunday service in a few weeks based on the themes of the movie Encanto. We will feed you pizza. We will feed anyone in your family pizza if that helps them stay. There is childcare for younger siblings. Meet me in room 19, 12, 15-ish. And also, if you are someone who has not yet seen the movie Encanto, that will be the basis for our service on December 11th. So I encourage you over the next month to watch it. It's at the library. It's on Disney Plus, and it's really good. We've been singing it basically nonstop in my house for the last year. So, enjoy. Secondly, tonight at 5 p.m. right here in the People's Church Commons, there's a Transgender Day of Remembrance service put on by Outfront. Especially given the violence in Colorado Springs last night, this is an important thing to show up for our community, for our wider community. So if you are available and able to be here and feeling heartbroken, that is a place that will hold you in your heartbreak today. And now we have an announcement, I think the last announcement for 9 months or so about the People's Church Bazaar. Here's Rochelle.
For sure, the last one for at least 9 months, but nobody minds this one, right? Okay, so we advertised the bazaar is back, and I think on Thursday we wondered, and Friday we wondered if it really would be, but the bazaar was back. So I don't know about you, but I feel lighter this morning, and it wasn't because of all the cookies that I ate from People's Specialties. I think it was the stress about the snow and what would happen. Will the people show up? And it might have been the money that I spent, but at any rate, I feel good, and I hope that you all do too. So just, some thankfuls that need to be said. First, to Mother Nature's grace. What would have happened had it continued to snow? So I'm very grateful that Saturday was clear until we needed it to be unclear was fine. Faith of Reverend Rachel's that we go ahead, and the artists who had the courage to come out, many of whom live out there, and all of our people in going forward. So I want to thank, have us just reflect on the power of what we are able to create and accomplish as a community. It was amazing to see. Thanks to Lori Rupi and the amazing People's Specialties team. They were incredible. Martha and the Limpa bakers, Bob, Don, and the pasty makers, all of you who created, baked, made People's Specialties, Reverend Rachel, and our gracious greeters who always win over everybody who comes, Dolores Strom and her wonderful cashier team, Barb and the finance team, Gary Ledley, Catherine Niesank, and the wonderful buildings and grounds folks, and the amazing creation of Monday Madness, Dolores's idea, and all those younger, stronger people who came out to set up. All of the new people and children who came, and others for the cleanup yesterday. It was just many new faces, and it was amazing. We were done at 4 o'clock. So, the artists wish that the cafe were back, but it was kind of nice to not have so much work. Rick Johnson, Deb Byers, and all who helped promote the bazaar. And that's the cue to remind you from Melissa to sign in your bazaar yard sign. The sign up is on the big desk as you come in across from Melissa's. We're going to have to go dig ours out of the snow. Maybe you do too. Let's see. I'll be done quickly. My partner, Emily Sipsma, who helped recruit, select, and manage the artists, she tabulated their evaluations yesterday, and it's always just such a delight to see the things that they write. Mostly what they appreciate is the atmosphere that our people create and our community. So they call this the best show. So despite the fact of a lot of competition, they choose to show up here, and I know we're all grateful for that. So we're thankful for all the people who came through these, who were intrepid enough to come, who delivered people's specialties or went to pick them up from others who couldn't get here to bring their people's specialties, and then all of the people who came to shop. That was wonderful. Special thank you for me this year is to our newish backbone of this church, and just to reflect on how they made it so much easier. Keenan, who makes this building shine. Diana, who kept the finances and records in order. Savannah, who with 2 days notice produced a playlist of music that was a major favorite of everybody. Reverend Rachel, who faithfully carries us forward together. And the most valuable player this year is Melissa, our new administrator. Who, having never seen or experienced this bazaar before, was confidently pushed us forward in every possible way, supporting our work, smiling and with a flourish on all she did. So just to conclude, despite all of the obstacles in our way, no cafe, no white elephant, and a different financial arrangement for our artists so that they experience less risk, this year, Barb announced, we have a record of people's specialty sales of $6,500. So that's awesome. So, and we ran out of everything. So, you know, who knows? There's no end to the amount of pasties and lymph bread, I guess, people eat. So with another $2,000 in our artists' income and after expenses, we expect to probably clear about $7,500 to support the good and important work of People's Church. So thank you all.
Wait for that mic to come on. So make sure you hear me say thank you, Rochelle, for everything. Yes. Good. We're going to do an oldie. It's called People of Hope. Yes, rise and body your spirit. It's hard to believe in the sun in the dark of the night. And it's hard to believe in the stars in the bright morning light. Well, we all need a place we can go to learn what is real, to ponder the depths of the soul where truth is revealed. Oh, this is our place. This is our home. Working and seeking, we're never alone. In this mortar and stone, these windows and walls, love's earthly home, heeding the call. It's bread for the journey, oil for the flame, for people of love, people of hope, people of change. It's hard to believe there is peace when war rages on. hard to believe there is love in hate's raging throng. But for every brave soldier, a peacemaker takes her own stand. And for every soul long turned away, there waits a new hand. Oh, let it be you. Let it be me. Here in love's dwelling, we learn to believe. In this mortar and stone, these windows and walls, love's earthly home, heeding the call. It's bread for the journey, oil for the flame, for people of love, people of hope, people of change. When a place is what welcomes you in, you build it, you change it, so the promise of love can begin here in this room. Oh, here in these halls, hearts open wide, welcoming all. This mortar and stone, these windows and walls, love's earthly home, heeding the call. It's bread for the journey, oil for the flame, for people of love, people of hope, people of change. We're people of love, people of hope, people of change. We're living out love, living out hope, living out change. Sing out for love, sing out for hope, sing out for change. Now I believe in the sun in the dark of the night.
Thank you. And now we will light our chalice. And to do that, we will ask DeForest Lonberg to come forward and help us do that. If you are lighting a chalice at home, you are encouraged to type into the chat box, a chalice is lit in your neighborhood, city, street, town. Our words for lighting, thank you, DeForest. Our words for a chalice lighting this morning come from Eric Walker Wickstrom, and they're entitled, Why We're Here. Here today, in this place, with these people, may we listen so that we can hear. May we hear so that we can feel. May we feel so that we can know. And may we know so that we can change ourselves and this world. May this chalice we light our way.
In addition to our chalice here at People's Church, today we have chalices lit in Millwood, in Battle Creek, Parkview Hills, Texas Township, Oshtemo, a garden home at Friendship Village, Cortland Avenue, Parkview Hills, and Pawpaw. So many flames this morning. And in Denver, Colorado. Now I would like to invite our children or anyone who's feeling young at heart forward for a time together. Hi, Grace. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad you're here today. I'm so glad you braved it through the snow and the ice. You tried your best. That's all we ask. Okay, so at my house, about every few months, especially for the kids, we go through our closets and figure out what still fits, what we still like, what maybe got too ripped or stained to keep wearing. Do you guys ever do things like that? Yeah, your grandma helps you do it, Grace. That's awesome. So we're going to do this for me for a minute, okay? So I have brought a few things that I'm going to ask you to help me decide if they should stay in my closet or not. Okay. So these are my favorite pants. They're bright green. They're really soft. You can touch them if you want. And so I wear them all the time. Do you think I should keep them? Yeah, I think so too. If you guys said no, I would overrule you, I have to say. So what about this? I don't wear it very often, but when I do, I have a really good time. What do you think? It makes noise. So a baby could play with it. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to keep it. So now there's this one. So I bought this dress a long time ago and I really like it. But about 5 years ago, my body changed a lot when I was growing this one in my uterus. And since she started growing, this has not fit my body. My body has changed shape. So do you think I should hold on to this even though it doesn't fit me and probably won't ever again? Do you think I should? No. Maybe. I mean, it's sat in my closet for 5 years without being worn even once. I think it's time to find a new home for it.
You could touch it and make it
Oh, yeah, I could try to change it into a shirt or something like that. There's some good ideas. I could do something else with it. So are clothes the only things that we might need to see if they still fit us? No. Oh, glasses, other things we wear, our shoes. That makes sense. So with the grown-ups today, what we're going to do is talk about if some ideas and some words still fit us. So we're going to be looking at some words that People's Church and other churches like it came up with in 1984. Does that seem like a while ago?
No.
No, not a while ago.
No. Yeah, I think it's a while.
I would have been one of the kids sitting up in the front in 1984.
Yay.
Yeah. And so we're going to see if some of those things still fit or if maybe it's time to find something new that is more reflective of who we are and what's going to work for us. So that's what the grown-ups are going to be doing, talking to each other and thinking those thoughts about, do words still fit us? Okay. And I bet you guys are going to do something else that's also very fun. So we're going to sing you on your way to your classes. Thank you for helping me organize my closet. Time to go to class, sweets.
Go forth in peace in search of wisdom, with love to guide you on your way. And may the joy of life surround you wherever you may go. Go forth in peace in search of wisdom, with love to guide you on your way. And may the joy of life surround you wherever you may go.
If anybody wants a gray A-line dress, let me know. I have one on offer. People are generous people. And I saw that again and again yesterday as we made the bazaar happen. With the snow, I sent out a note to all of our volunteers, encouraging them to be safe and make the choices that made sense for them. And some people needed to not come, and some people had other reasons that came up that they couldn't be here. And so everybody else stepped up in all kinds of amazing and beautiful ways. Volunteers finished their shifts and then said, where can I help now? Or I put a note in the Facebook group, and people who had not been signed up to help came at 3 with their vacuums ready to reassemble our life together. It was beautiful to see. And when we are doing it together, we can do so much and take care of each other at the same time, which is key and is beautiful. So now we will pass our offering baskets and be putting the link in to give online, and the offering will now be received. I invite you to continue to be the generous people that you are and support the good and important work of People's Church.
I am army. That's what I said. I am army. Don't you see? I am you army. That's what I said. I am you army. Don't you see? I am you army. That's what I said. I am you army. Don't you see?
Seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than there. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than there. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than there. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than there. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than there. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, there's something between us that's greater than there. It seems like I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and so together we are one body. I am inside your head, you are inside my heart. We come together, perfect from the start.
I am you army. That's what I said. I am you army. Don't you
It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than there. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than there. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than there. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than there. It seems like I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and still together we are one body. I am inside your head, you are inside my heart. We come together, perfect from the start. I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and so together we are one body. I am inside your head, you are inside my heart. We fit together, perfect from the start. I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and so together we are one body.
Please join me now in giving thanks for all that sustains us. From the countless gifts we have each been given, gifts of life and love and sustenance, we bring these small portions to share in the works of love which none of us can accomplish alone.
People's people support one another in good times and hard times and the in-between times. One of the ways that we do that is we take time when we are gathered to share the joys, sorrows, and milestones in our lives. If you have something you wish to share, I invite you, if you are joining us on Zoom this morning, to type it into the chat box and type your name if it is not clear from your Zoom name who you are. If you are with us in person, I invite you to come forward, place a stone in water, and share what you have to share as well as your name. And you are also invited, whether you are here in person or on Zoom, to just place a stone. Just type in stone on Zoom. For the joys and sorrows we are holding quietly in our hearts today, those in our wider community and our wider world. Sources of reason and radiance, sources of courage and compassion. Keep watch with those who work or watch or weep this day. May the suffering be soothed. May the weary find rest. May the sick be tended. May the dying and those who love them find peace. May all of us know that we are wrapped in a love that surrounds us always, a web that connects us to all that exists. Spirit of life, ever adapting and renewing. We come together with yearnings that do not match. We yearn for stability, for even one moment of feeling like we know what is going on, for even one moment to have the ability to predict and prepare for what is coming next. And yet we also yearn for change. We ache for a world that turns aside from racism, violence, dehumanization, and disregard for suffering. We pray for a change in the illness, grief, isolation, incarceration, and vulnerability of our loved ones. We reach for connections that will remind us that we are worthy as we are. And we reach for connections that will help us become our best selves. Hold us in the heart of both and. Cradle us in the mystery. Cherish us in the eternal presence of love and encourage us on the path of growth and development. As individuals and as a people, help us to become who we are called to be. Lead us to open pathways to deeper wisdom through reconciliation, self-respect, and mutual respect, compassion, owning and making amends for our mistakes. Source of wonder, move us to express and live in gratitude for the beauty of this world, the loving people in our lives, and this day of possibility. Amen.
I invite you to sing with us from your seats. Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Seek the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch me flower, carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony.
The next part of our service is different from what we usually do. Instead of sermons and readings and such, we are going to explore a draft of a possible new Article 2 of the UUA bylaws, which sounds a little dry, but it's important. Article 2 contains our principles, some words from them are on the wall here in our comments, our sources, and other important texts among us. The current Article 2 was adopted in 1984, and there have been words and phrases changed, but no large-scale revisions since then. The world, Unitarian Universalism, People's Church, and each of us as individuals are very different than we were in 1984, if we were even alive in 1984. Some of us in this room were not. So it's time to look at our old words and our new words closely, the old words to see if they still fit, and maybe try on something new that might better reflect who we are as a people now. And putting the new language in our Zoom chat, so those folks are sure to have a copy. Oh, now I have to get back to my other thing. Okay. So for the past few years, a group commissioned by the Unitarian Universalist Association, our associational body of about 1,000 UU congregations, has been exploring the possibility of something new, a deepening of our covenant with the other congregations we are in relationship with. And the handout in your order of service, or the thing I just put in the Zoom chat, is their first draft. I've also included the current Article 2 for reference, so you can compare and contrast if you wish. If you haven't been paying attention, that's fine. We've all had a few things to pay attention to over the past few years, I know. But now is a good time to start paying attention to this. The timeline going forward is that the Article 2 Study Commission is searching for feedback right now. There's a link in your order of service on how to give that. And in January, they will present a second draft. Then there will be a process for amendments and other changes, and there'll be a vote at the General Assembly next June. So each congregation sends representatives where they do the business of the association. And if that new bylaw passes then, it will need to be reaffirmed the following year at that General Assembly to become our new Article 2. So if you are a People's Church member who finds this stuff really interesting, let me encourage you to consider being a delegate to General Assembly sometime soon. Next June, it's in Pittsburgh and online, and we can either have 5 or 6 people as our delegates, lay members of the church. So I consider that if this is exciting to you. So what we're going to do today is engage this new language using an approach based on Lectio Divina, which is a Christian monastic practice. That's Latin for holy reading. So when I read the draft language, please listen to it as though it is poetry. So listen with your heart and your spirit. We will then have a chance for small group conversations. Our Zoomers will be broken up into groups, and people here in this space, I invite you to form a small group and maybe not be with anyone who lives in your same house. So you hear some different voices if you're up for it. Then, after about 5 minutes of conversation, we will sing, and then Gordon will read the Article 2 language. And at that point, I invite you to listen with your reason and your intellect, as though these things are connected from the heart and the spirit, I know, but we're trying to do it this way. And have another small group conversation. These conversations are just beginnings, but hopefully they're a chance to hear what other people are resonating with and reacting to, and spark new ideas for you. And if you are new to People's Church, this is one of your first times among us, know that we don't usually read bylaws together, though sometimes we do. But we are a church that is radically democratic. Here, we use the democratic process, as slow and cumbersome as it is to have small group conversations in 1,000 different congregations, to make decisions about what matters. There is no external authority to tell us what our principles are. There is each other. We believe that our ideas are made better when we share them with others, and that our collective wisdom is greater than any single truth held by one individual. So let us be about this work. So this is our first reading. Listen like this is poetry. Purposes. Or Article 2, Purpose and Covenant. Purposes. The Unitarian Universalist Association shall devote its resources to and exercise its organizational powers for religious, educational, and humanitarian purposes. Its primary purposes are to equip congregations for vital ministry, to support and train leaders, both lay and professional, to heal historic iniquities, and to advance our Unitarian Universalist values in the world. We will transform the world by the power of our liberating love. Values and covenant. Love is the enduring force that holds us together. As Unitarian Universalists in religious community, we covenant congregation to congregation, and through our association to support and assist each other in engaging our ministries. We draw from our heritages of freedom and reason, hope and courage, building on the foundation of love. Love inspires and powers the passion with which we embody our values. Inseparable from one another, these shared values are love, justice, generosity, evolution, pluralism, equity, interdependence. Justice. We work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all people thrive. We covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of oppression within individuals and our institutions. We are accountable to each other for this work. Generosity. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely share our faith, presence, and resources. Compassionate generosity connects us to one another in relationships of mutuality. Evolution. We adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Evolution is fundamental to life and to our Unitarian Universalist heritages, never complete and never perfect. Pluralism. We celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, theology, and experience. We covenant to learn from one another and openly explore the depth and breadth of our many wisdoms. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. Equity. We declare that every person has the right to flourish with dignity and worthiness. We covenant to use our time, wisdom, attention, and money to build and sustain a fully inclusive and accessible community of communities. Interdependence. We honor the sacred interdependent web of all existence. With humility, we understand our place in the web. We covenant to care for and respect the earth and all beings by fostering relationships of mutuality. We work to repair the bonds we have broken. Inspirations. As Unitarian Universalists, we draw upon and are inspired by the full depth and breadth of sacred understandings as experienced by humanity. Grateful for the religious lineages we inherit and the pluralism which enriches our faith, we are called to ever deepen and expand our wisdom. Inclusion. Systems of power, privilege, and oppression have traditionally created barriers for persons and groups with particular identities, ages, abilities, and histories. We pledge to replace such barriers with ever-widening circles of solidarity and mutual respect. We strive to be an association of congregations that truly welcomes all persons who share our values. We commit to structuring congregational and associational life in ways that empower and enhance everyone's participation. Freedom of belief. Nothing herein shall be deemed to infringe upon the individual freedom of belief, which is inherent in the Unitarian Universalist heritages, or to conflict with any statement of purpose, covenant, or bond of union used by any congregation, unless such is used as a creedal test. In expressing our beliefs, we do so in the spirit of love in ways that further beloved community. So now I invite you into small group conversation for about 5 minutes on that text. What do you hear when you listen with your heart and with your spirit?
Speak before thousands. You can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Let's take it home. Love will guide us. Peace
I will now read the article, and the purpose of this reading is so that you may listen with your reason and intellect. Article 2, Purposes and Covenant, Section C, 2.1, Purposes. The Unitarian Universalist Association shall devote its resources to and exercise its organizational powers for religious, educational, and humanitarian purposes. Its primary purposes are to equip congregations for vital ministry, to support and train leaders, both lay and professional, to heal historic inequities, and to advance our Unitarian Universalist values in the world. We will transform the world by our liberating love. Section C, 2.2, Values and Content. Love is the enduring force that holds us together. As Unitarian Universalists in religious community, we covenant congregation to congregation and through our association to support and assist each other in engaging our ministries. We draw from our heritages of freedom and reason, hope and courage, building on the foundation of love. Love inspires and powers the passion with which we embody our values, inseparable from one another. These shared values are pluralism, interdependence, equity, generosity, justice, evolution, with love in the center of that diagram. Justice. We work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all people thrive. We covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of oppression within individuals and our institutions. We are accountable to each other for this work. Generosity. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely share our faith, presence, and resources. Compassionate generosity connects us one to another in relationships of mutuality. Evolution. We adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Evolution is fundamental to life and to our Unitarian Universalist heritages. Never complete, never perfect. Pluralism. We celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, theology, and experience. We covenant to learn from one another and openly explore the depth and breadth of our many wisdoms. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. Equity. We declare that every person has the right to flourish with dignity and worthiness. We covenant to use our time, wisdom, attention, and money to build and sustain a fully inclusive and accessible community of communities. Interdependence. We honor the sacred interdependent web of all existence. With humility, we understand our place in the web. We covenant to care for and respect the earth and all beings by fostering relationships of mutuality. We work to repair the bonds we have broken. Section C, 2.3, Inspirations. As Unitarian Universalists, we draw upon and are inspired by the full depth and breadth of sacred understandings as experienced by humanity. Grateful for the religious lineages we inherit and the pluralism which enriches our faith, we are called to ever deepen and expand our wisdom. Section C, 2.4, Inclusion. Systems of power, privilege, and oppression have traditionally created barriers for persons and groups with particular identities, ages, abilities, and histories. We pledge to replace such barriers with ever-widening circles of solidarity and mutual respect. We strive to be an association of congregation that truly welcome all persons who share our values. We commit to structuring congregational and associational life in ways that empower and enhance everyone's participation. Section C, 2.5, freedom of belief. Nothing herein shall be deemed to infringe upon the individual freedom of belief, which is inherent in the Unitarian Universalist heritages, or to conflict with any statement of purpose, covenant, or bond of union used by any congregation unless such is used as a creedal test. In expressing our beliefs, we do so in the spirit of love, in ways that further beloved community.
I'll do it on this one. I invite you to continue your conversations after the service is over. At this time, I invite you to rise and body your spirit to sing our closing song together. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere.
This was really just the beginning of a conversation, wasn't it? I know you all were wanting to keep singing or keep talking while we started the music. And so I invite you to keep having those conversations. We'll be having those conversations here, but you don't need to wait until it says so in the order of service that it's time for them. Just helping you remember that. And I encourage you, and they give us about a week to get the feedback to the UUA. So there's a link in your order of service or in your Zoom chat to their survey form. And so I invite you to sit with what's been churned up for a couple of days and then send a note, because we are wiser when we all come together and share our wisdom. So let us continue these conversations and all of the conversations about what matters most as we figure out who we are and where we're going, right? So let us go in peace and go in love.